Hi, I'm Caden, the Charming Avenger, and on my channel, I'm learning how to bake. Now, I'm not learning how to bake just by watching a YouTube tutorial or following a recipe online. I'm learning how to bake by trying to recreate one of the main heat challenges from Food Network's Baking Championships. Now, if you watched this week's episode, you know that it was all about cheesecakes. They had to take 3 different cheesecake flavors and put it into one cheesecake pan. Now, my wife nor myself are not big cheesecake fans at all. So instead of just making something to throw away, I'm going to make a Swiss roll cake with 3 different flavored pastry creams. I'm going to use an eggnog, gingerbread, and lastly, a hot chocolate pastry cream to kind of give it that holiday flavor. And for the twist, I'm going to have to bake 2 toppers, like to decorate with. And then the third just has to be something that I could use out of the pantry. But 2 of them have to be baked. So I'm going to do a gingerbread cake, or a gingerbread man, or reindeer, or whatever. And then I'm going to make, I think I'm going to make a eggnog cream puff to go on the top of it as well. And then I'm not sure what the third one's going to be. It's going to be something out of the pantry. It might be a hot chocolate bomb, which is like going to be just melted chocolate into a dome, and then a couple of marshmallows and some hot chocolate mix inside of it that I'll serve over like some hot milk. So we'll see what happens with that third one as the day evolves. Right now, we are going to get into the roll cake. That is going to be the big component of this whole thing, so we have to make sure that it goes out well. So, on to the roll cake. All right, so the roll cake is out of the oven. It is in the refrigerator, and it's going to hang out there until I'm ready to stuff it. Now I'm going to get on to the pastry cream. I'm going to make an eggnog pastry cream first. Then I'm going to make a hot chocolate pastry cream. And then on to the gingerbread pastry cream, which is going to be sticky, so I'm going to save that one for the very last because it's going to be a mess to clean up. So yeah, on to pastry cream. Alright, so I did 3 flavors of pastry cream. I did the eggnog, hot chocolate flavor, and the gingerbread. All 3 of them taste good. I'm a little concerned that the last 2 aren't going to set up all the way. They seemed a little runny, but hopefully in the refrigerator they will come together. To address the hot chocolate. So, you just put chocolate on something that's not hot chocolate, right? You have to have one of the key ingredients in hot chocolate is marshmallow. So I'm going to take some marshmallow fluff. I'm going to heat it up just a little bit so it's a little spreadable. I'm going to put that down on the cake, and then I'm going to add the pastry cream on top of that to give it that yummy, marshmallowy, hot chocolatey kind of flavor to it. So I'm hoping that works out really well. Everything has to sit in the refrigerator for at least another hour. And then we'll get into decorations. The gingerbread cookies and whatever else I'm going to make will take place tomorrow. It is already 2 a.m. So I'm going to finish up this stuff tonight, and then tomorrow we will go with the additional twist baking. So yeah, I'll see you in about an hour when we will construct the roll cake. All right, so it is day 2. The pastry cream is all set up. Looks really good, tastes really, really good. I'm really excited to put it all together tonight and just try it out. Tonight we are going to make the toppers for the, I guess we'll just call it a Yule log. So the toppers for the Yule log. We are going to do gingerbread cookies, and we are also going to do a white chocolate cup that's going to have eggnog served in it. And then for the third one, well, I think we're just going to do some marshmallows on the top of the cake to symbolize the hot chocolate fillings that you put into hot chocolate. So yeah, so that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to get started now on the gingerbread. It's got to sit in the refrigerator for 3 hours before we can cook it. So it's time to go. All right, so the gingerbread is going to be in the refrigerator for the next 3 hours. So while we are doing that, while that's chilling, we are going to unroll the cake. It did sit in the refrigerator overnight. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, because you're only supposed to leave it in there for an hour. I don't know if you can leave it in there for any more or not. If it works, great. If it doesn't, then I'll just make another one real quick. It's not too hard to do, so that's fine. We're going to get this stuffed and back into the refrigerator so it can sit there for quite some time, get everything kind of together and good to go. And then we'll work on the decorations. We'll do the white chocolate molds. I've got these little molds right here. I'm going to make them out of, hopefully this works. I just got this. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I'm going to make cups out of this. And then we will go from there. So cross your fingers. Let's hope this cake rolls out. Alright, so I'm gonna try to pop out these molds and see if they worked. Sorry. I'm first going to dust some powdered sugar over this hot mess of a roll cake. That stuff just, I don't know what happened, but it did not, the pastry cream did not set up at all. And I don't get it, but this is what we're doing. All right. I feel like all I do on baking days are dishes. So, I'm going to try to pop these out. First, I'm going to try the marshmallows. I don't know if the marshmallows are going to come out or not. They're really sticky. I thought they'd set up a little bit in the freezer, but they didn't. Well, kinda. Oh, not as well as I wanted it to. Oh man, okay, that did not work. Let's see. Let's see if there's a better way to do this. Oh, you know what? Maybe if I took a toothpick and went around the inside of it and scooped it out first. Let's try that. Oh no, where are my toothpicks?
Far back, right corner on top.
Ah, there they are, okay. Alright, so let's try and get this out of here. I did spray the mold first, thinking that it would help. Oh, that came out pretty good. Okay, so there's one. If I can get it off my hand. Oops. Oh, that's a good idea. Powdered sugar makes everything a little less sticky. All right, let's try this again. This one's actually so we're just going to go through here. Alright, so if you've done this before with marshmallow and molds, comment below on how you got these out of here, because this isn't working right. You know, they say that no two marshmallows or no two snowflakes are the same, so this actually could work. And I think next time I do this, if I do this again, I'm going to put powdered sugar down on the bottom of the mold, and maybe that will make it a little easier to pop out of here. And then we'll go on to the chocolate molds, which honestly terrify me because even the best of the best break them. So, we will see how I do with that. This is actually really good. So this was the marshmallow for the hot chocolate. It's semi-homemade, so Sandra Lee would be really proud of me for this one. Y'all remember her? Sandra Lee was great. All right, there we go. So we've got those. Now, let's move this aside. All right, so these molds, you have to be super careful. And I have never done this before, so I don't know how to exactly do it. But I feel like you have to do it with like force. So, oh, Allison, you're missing this. This is super cool. Oh man, I can't believe that worked. Okay. Dude, this is great. Oh man, this is fantastic. So these are for the these are for the eggnog. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find the eggnog, I'm going to pour a little bit in these cups and pray that it doesn't leak. So the cake itself, oh, nope, that's not good. The cake itself didn't come out very pretty, but I'm liking where this is. Oh no, shoot. Okay, that's fine. Look at that. So you can all see that I am nowhere near a professional at this, but this is kind of working. There we go. Put that back on there. And then, last but not least, we have gingerbread people, which are not going to be able to stand up. So, maybe if I do it like this. All right, there we go. Wow, that's done. So, it worked. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. This is so cool. Okay, I need...
Say it's done?
Yeah. You have your camera?
You gingerbread people are like, lean on me.
All right, so...
It looks so good.
There we go.
It's very brown and white.
Yeah,
But otherwise, it looks so good.
I was thinking about doing other things, but I don't want to risk it. This is really cool. This is...
Your little cup of eggnog. Is that nutmeg on top?
No, that's a little bit of cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
Yeah. So, here's the finished product. It is an absolute mess. My hands are a mess. I can't even take you off of the tripod to, like, bring you into said mess because I'm so messy. And I don't want to start the water because... So here we are. This is the final Swiss roll cake slash Yule log. It is a hot mess. You can see that the pastry cream just came right out of it at all angles. But hey, I bet it's going to taste good. So I've got, from left to right, this is the hot chocolate with marshmallow molds, gingerbread filling with gingerbread people, and then eggnog with white chocolate cups and eggnog inside of them. So this is not a cheesecake, but it's the closest I could get that I will actually enjoy eating. So without further ado, I'm gonna hand the phone over to Allison. She's gonna hold it, I'm gonna cut it, and we're gonna hope for the best. I expect that it's going to be crazy in there. All right.
Plates.
Oh, thanks. Alrighty. So we're gonna go.
Oh my. Is that right in the middle?
Yeah, so this will be eggnog. And then this is eggnog.
Eggnog's here.
Eggnog's here.
Gingerbread in the middle.
Gingerbread.
Hot chocolate on the end.
Hot chocolate. Hot chocolate does have marshmallow.
Hey, look at that roll.
Oh, there we go. There's one. I don't know. I wonder what made this not set up. There's got to be something scientifical that kept the pastry cream from setting up with all the spices. Yeah. And then we'll do an eggnog.
We need another plate.
I guess so. know if there's any filling in that last one at all.
Nice filling. You can see it dripping out.
Can you take a picture of it too? Thanks. That poor...
The hot chocolate actually looks really nice.
The gingerbread one just...
The marshmallow fluff like held it together. The rest of them look a little ill.
All right, so I'm gonna dig in, taste each of them first. All right, so now it's time to taste it. So first we're gonna go with the gingerbread, because that was the one that's oozing out the most. So.
What flavors are in the filling?
Nutmeg, cinnamon, ginger. I did not use clove. No clove.
Itadakimasu.
Allspice. Cheers. Okay. So, you can taste the cornstarch. And it's a really weird texture flavor thing going on. I think that's because when I tried to thicken it again, I didn't have the right time to cook out the cornstarch texture. So it's a little dry, which is weird because it's so wet, but it's a little dry. Now there is some hot chocolate on this side, so I'm gonna go ahead and dig into that one. You can dig into this one if you'd like.
Are you sure that's hot chocolate?
Yeah.
Hot chocolate looks great. Look at that. Look at that, like.
Oh, that's so good. This one is really great. This is just normal pastry cream with some dark cocoa in it, but I added some marshmallow fluff to give it a little bit of sweetness, because that dark chocolate was just so bitter. But this is
delicious.
This is a winner. Oh my gosh, I would make a whole roll cake like this. This is so good.
And it is reminiscent of hot cocoa too. The chocolate and the marshmallow together.
Yeah. Oh man, this is really, really good. Yep.
We have a winner.
That's my favorite so far. That one's really good. It is also extremely messy. The pastry cream was a bit thicker. I think this one was more of a success than the other two. But it's still a little all over the place. So now on to the eggnog, which you can see most of it is, it's struggling. But we're gonna give it a shot. Now the cake itself is a vanilla cake, and I just sprinkled some cinnamon sugar on top of it when I was baking it to kind of give it a little bit of a snickerdoodle flavor.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's so much better than I thought it would be.
You guys gotta make this. The pastry cream better than me, but you gotta try this. This is really good.
It's decadent and eggy, and it absolutely tastes like eggnog.
And
it goes really well with the cake.
This tastes like Christmas. This is like...
It just needs to be prettier.
You know how Nancy Fuller's like, this bite is Christmas. This bite is Christmas. It's so good. Now, of course, Nancy would want some rum, but I try not to use a lot of rum or alcohol in my baking. Just a personal preference, but there we go. So, now on to the toppers. I made a few gingerbread men, people. The other ones are still in the refrigerator. These kind of spread a little bit. They weren't necessarily as cold as I'd like them to be, but I think they're going to taste good.
They smell funny. Crunchy on the bottom and soft on the inside.
That was kind of crazy.
Oh, the spice came through. It took a moment. It might be because I just had that eggnog cake. But
were you about to say that it's bland?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It came off as bland at first, but it got there eventually. This isn't as good as the gingerbread you made last year.
I think the other ones will taste better. I think this one is, I think there's too much flour in this one that came up when I was trying to roll it out. So I think these have extra flour in them. They're a bit dry. This one, I feel like there's no flavor in it whatsoever. So that's not a winner for me. These marshmallows, you don't have to eat one if you don't want to. It's pretty much just fondant.
They looked much better before you touched
What's
them.
funny is they like go back to their shape really easy.
Wow.
So like they spread out, but then they go back. It's really cool, but it's marshmallow and powdered sugar.
Can we do the Willy Wonka?
Mm-hmm. Give me a second. Okay, so the next is my personal favorite, which I did for the very first time this year. I have made white chocolate bowls with just a little bit of eggnog in them. So, cheers.
Happy Christmas.
Oh man, that's so good. Oh, now I feel like Willy Wonka. So, this week was a little bit of a mess. Everything was a mess. From my hands to the plating, everything was just a mess. But it was fun. I really enjoyed it. I was able to try new techniques, which is something that I've wanted to do for the past year, is just to push myself into doing new things and trying molds and messing with marshmallow. So I'm really pleased with how this week turned out. Next week, on Monday at 8 Central, will be another holiday baking championship. Do you remember, what did they tease?
Thinking. Upside down cake.
Ah, yes, upside down cakes. I don't know where that's going to take us, but we'll go on that journey together, I suppose. Until then, be kind to one another. We need it right now. Happy holidays, and remember, if I can bake, so can you. See you next week.